Welcome to a new deep dive.
Yeah.
We peel back the layers on stories making headlines, giving you the key insights.
And today we're focusing on someone truly iconic.
Absolutely. A titan of music whose recent passing has, well, brought a very personal family discussion back into the public eye.
We are talking, of course, about Ozzy Osbourne.
Legendary Black Sabbath frontman. He sadly passed away on July 22nd, 2025. He was 76. Just an immeasurable impact.
Yeah, truly.
And in the wake of his death, this specific and frankly doubly sensitive topic involving his wife, Sharon Osbourne, is resurfaced.
It has. It centers around previously discussed plans regarding assisted suicide.
Right.
So our mission today is really to give you a clear, concise understanding of this, well, complex situation.
Yeah.
We'll unpack the timeline, the different perspectives surrounding Sharon and Ozzy's discussions on this assisted suicide topic.
And crucially, we're drawing exclusively from the Newsweek article published on July 22nd, 2025.
That's our single source for this deep dive.
Exactly. So we'll explore the details, the specific comments made over the years, and maybe most importantly, how different family members saw these very public statements.
Trying to offer you a comprehensive picture, of what started as maybe a private family talk and became very, very public.
Okay, so let's start with the man himself, the Prince of Darkness. Ozzy wasn't just a musician, was he? He was like a cultural phenomenon.
Oh, completely. From his groundbreaking work with Black Sabbath to that massive solo career, No More Tears, Diary of a Madman, albums that really defined a sound.
Globally recognized. 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions, 5 Grammys. I mean, the legacy is just indelible.
It really is. And it's against that backdrop, that huge legacy, that we find the context for this discussion resurfacing now.
The health struggles.
Exactly. For years, Ozzy had been battling Parkinson's disease. And there were other health issues, too, stemming from that significant fall he had back in 2019.
Right. That fall seemed to really impact his mobility.
It did. And, just weeks before he passed, he gave that incredibly emotional farewell to fans at Villa Park.
Yeah, I saw footage of that. Metallica was there, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Paying tribute.
It felt like a final bow. His declining health certainly brought these kinds of discussions, public and private, right to the forefront.
So this conversation around assisted suicide, it's important you understand this isn't something that just popped up after his death.
No, not at all.
This discussion actually goes way back, all the way to 2007. So where did this public conversation really start?
Okay, so the origin point seems to be Sharon's 2007 memoir. It was called Survivor, My Story, The Next Chapter.
Okay.
And in it, she revealed this agreement she said she had with Ozzy. The plan was, if either of them developed a brain-affecting illness like dementia, they would seek help from Dignitas. That's the Swiss assisted suicide organization.
Right, Dignitas. And what was the motivation behind that, according to her book?
It seemed to stem directly from her experience with her own father, Don Arden. He passed away in 2007 after battling Alzheimer's disease.
Ah, okay. So it was a very personal connection for her.
Very. And she spoke about it publicly, too, not just in the memoir. There was a September 2007 Daily Mirror article where she was quoted quite directly.
What did she say?
Well, the quote Newsweek cites is Sharon saying she believes in euthanasia, and we have drawn up plans to go to the assisted suicide flat in Switzerland if we ever have an illness that affects our brains.
Wow.
And she specified, if Ozzy or I ever got Alzheimer's, that's it, we'd be off.
That's incredibly stark language. We'd be off. And, it's interesting she used the term euthanasia there.
That is a really crucial point, actually, and maybe worth a quick clarification for you.
Yeah, please.
So while Sharon used euthanasia, which often implies, a doctor or someone else administering the final dose,
right,
organizations like Dignitas typically facilitate assisted suicide. That means the individual takes the final step themselves. They self-administer the substance.
Ah, okay. So it's about who performs the final act.
Exactly. It's a subtle distinction, maybe, but ethically and legally, it's pretty significant in a lot of places. It highlights the kind of specific agency they were apparently discussing in their plan.
That's really helpful context. Okay, so this agreement or this plan was laid out back in 2007. But obviously, time moves on. Ozzy's health unfortunately declined. This didn't just stay buried in a memoir, did it?
No, it didn't. It resurfaced quite explicitly, fast forward to October 2023,
Right.
on their own family podcast, the Osbournes podcast, which brought it, right back into the public eye.
The whole family was on that show, weren't they?
Yeah, Sharon, Ozzy, and their kids, Jack and Kelly.
Yeah.
And the exchange was Well, it was quite telling.
What happened?
Jack Osbourne actually asked his mom directly. He asked if that plan, the one about going to Switzerland, if it still stood.
He asked her that on the podcast.
He did. And Sharon's reply was really poignant, kind of captured her reasoning. She asked him, do you think that we're going to suffer? Jack apparently responded something like, well, maybe. Isn't life already suffering?
Okay.
And Sharon then said, yes, we all are, but I don't want it to actually hurt as well. Mental suffering is enough pain without physical. So if you've got mental and physical, see ya.
See ya. Again, very direct. That exchange really does lay bare her motivation, doesn't it? That fear of combined mental and physical suffering.
Absolutely. It underscores the anguish behind her stance.
You know, it makes you wonder, though, how often do we see this kind of thing? Where public figures make these statements maybe years ago, and then as circumstances change, especially with health, maybe the family's perspective evolves or differs.
That's a really interesting question. And I think it speaks to how fluid these deeply personal discussions can be, right? What might start as a hypothetical agreement maybe years earlier can feel very different when faced with the actual progression of an illness or just the emotional reality of it all for the family.
The public narrative kind of solidifies it, maybe?
Exactly. The public hears that quote from 2007 or the 2023 podcast, and it becomes the story. But the private reality, you know, within the family, it might be much more complex, maybe even shifting over time.
That's a powerful point. And speaking of those differing interpretations, those evolving family dynamics, we saw a really critical counterpoint emerge just days before Ozzy actually passed away.
We did, yeah. This time from their daughter, Kelly.
What did she say?
So on July 11th, 2025, that's just 11 days before her father died, Kelly Osbourne posted on her Instagram story.
Okay.
And she directly took aim at viral content that was circulating about her parents and this specific topic.
Right.
She wrote very clearly, stop making articles or posts about how you think my parents are having a suicide pact.
Wow, she called it a suicide pact.
Yeah, and then she added, that was bulls my mom said to get attention one time, and my dad's not dying. Stop.
So she framed her mother's original comments very differently.
Yeah.
As something said for attention.
That's how she put it. And she didn't stop there. She also addressed these AI-generated videos that were apparently suggesting Ozzy was near death.
I think I saw some chatter about those.
Kelly's response was firm. He's not dying. Yes, he has Parkinson's, and yes, his mobility is completely different than it used to be, but he's not dying. What is wrong with you?
That statement from Kelly, it's not just a denial, is it? It feels like it really shows that struggle families face when these public stories clash with their private reality, especially under, the pressure of illness and impending grief.
It really does. It begs that question, doesn't it? How much control do public figures or their families really have over their own story once it's out there and being interpreted and reinterpreted?
Yeah.
Kelly's words give you a glimpse of that raw emotion, that frustration, when maybe a past comment, perhaps even one not meant entirely seriously, becomes this fixed fact in the public mind.
Especially when your loved one is genuinely struggling with health issues.
Precisely. It's a stark reminder that even within a family as famous as the Osbournes, there can be different understandings, different feelings about these incredibly sensitive subjects.
So just for context on the family, who exactly survived Ozzy?
Right. So the Newsweek piece clarifies he's survived by 6 children in total.
6, okay.
There's Amy, Kelly, and Jack, his children with Sharon, and then 3 children from previous relationships, Jessica, Louie, and Elliot.
Got it. And after he passed, the family released a statement, didn't they?
They did, a very touching one.
Could you share that?
Sure. It read, "It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time. Sharon, Jack, Kelly, Amy, and Louie."
Simple, direct, ask for privacy. And where did he pass away?
USA Today reported he died in Birmingham, England, and as the statement said, surrounded by his family.
And the tributes started pouring in almost immediately, I imagine.
Oh, instantly. Across the whole music world. Paul Stanley from Kiss, Ice-T rapper and actor, the rock band Pixies. Just an outpouring of admiration and grief for someone truly irreplaceable.
So wrapping this up, what we've kind of unpacked today, it really does offer this unusual public window, doesn't it, into these deeply personal talks about health end-of-life choices.
Absolutely. And maybe more importantly, how those talks get interpreted and reinterpreted, sometimes even within the same family.
Yeah.
The Osbournes' journey, laid out here, really shows how complex and sometimes contradictory these public narratives can become over time.
Hopefully this deep dive has given you, our listener, a more nuanced lens, a way to understand how even private plans or family conversations can explode into public discourse, especially with figures this iconic.
Yeah, you've now got a clearer picture of the timeline, the specific statements that were made, and those differing viewpoints, all drawn just from that Newsweek report.
Exactly. We've stuck to the source.
Indeed. And, considering how often public figures' private lives do become these huge public conversations, this whole situation, it raises a pretty important question for all of us to think about, maybe.
What's that?
When does that desire for transparency, about end-of-life wishes, when does that cross a line and bump up against the crucial need for personal privacy, especially in that incredibly sensitive time right after a loved one has passed away?